It's Jay Hughes here, Real Money Investors. Today we're going to go over my one-page business plan, but before we get started, let's take a look at this. As always, we need to go over the disclaimer, so make sure that you stop, pause, read it, understand it before you move forward. Okay, guys, if you have a copy of the business plan in front of you, I'm going to go over each section. This should be different for everyone. As you can tell, I have a $1,500 retirement balance that I want to work with this particular project. Now, yours may be different, so make sure that you go into the business planning worksheet. This is a spreadsheet that you should have received, and you can put $100 on there. You can put $100,000 in there. I don't know. This depends on your risk tolerance, how much revenue you have to work with, just whatever. Like, look at this. This is $100, and just say that you're a bit more optimistic than I am, and you're looking at 10% a month. That could yield you up to $3,000 a month after 5 years, or maybe you want yours only for a year. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just going to share what my plan is for this particular project, but this is an easy worksheet for you to maneuver. Okay, let's get back to. All right, guys, here we go. I just put my retirement plan here, the simple, boring, lazy ink. Of course, that's it's a fake name. And the goal of our trading group is to participate in the Forex markets. All this is self-explanatory, but I have $1,500 of risk capital, and I want to turn that into $100,000 worth of income within 5 years or less. My major job is to manage my done for you Forex business. Here are my 2 milestones. I put all of my major information right on one page. First milestone, right here, real simple. Well, simply stated, that is, to grow my account from $1,500 to $100,000. Milestone 2, with continued trading, to withdraw $100,000 a year of annual income or more after milestone 1 is reached. And the monthly target projection, what will it take for me to do that? I need to average around 7.5% a month. Some people, they use programs that are promising them 20% a month, 40% a month. I'm pretty comfortable with 7.5% a month. And of course, with the spreadsheet, it shows me what my monthly targets are. So that stops me from being as greedy as I normally am. Over here, and I may be going a little backwards here, folks, but one of the things that's important is I just put my picture up there because this is like a goal sheet. I'm into visualization and goals and things of that nature with any of my business projects. But I'm also realistic, so I had to put my SWOT analysis here. That's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Me personally, as a business owner, these are my strengths. I think I'm a pretty good team builder. I have high risk tolerance, and I always take responsibility and hold myself accountable for results. So win or lose, the buck stops with me. Not a system, not a signal service, but with me. You need that for business, folks, and this is a business plan. These are my weaknesses. I'm going with low capitalization. Most people say that you shouldn't trade with $1,500, but I break a lot of rules here. So I call this undercapitalized, but I can grow it. Oh, these two are my major 2 weaknesses for this particular type of program. That's discipline and patience. Now, just for full disclosure, I do trade the S&P E-mini programs. Now, I trade that for excitement, okay? And my discipline and patience doesn't really come into play that much because it's pretty fast moving. It's a couple of hours a day, and I love doing that. It satisfies more than my long-term plans. So discipline and patience, those are definitely 2 of my weaknesses when it comes to a longer term plan like this. But there's a solution to that, and I'll share that with you as we move forward. Some of these opportunities in this business plan, I can outsource the things I don't want to do and don't know how to do, and also I can outsource discipline and patience if I want to. I have an opportunity to grow my fund, to grow that $1,500 up to $100,000. The market is very, very diverse and very large. Now, these are threats. There's always the threat of brokers. In other words, who can throw a monkey wrench into your plan? There's always dishonest brokers out there. Technical failure can happen. System failure can happen. And what I mean by system is not technical systems, but trading systems, because there's three type of markets that you need to have systems for: consolidation and trending markets, choppy market, well, more than three. And last but not least, and I'm not trying to be hard on myself, but you've got to be honest, it's me, myself, and I, because I've seen where I've sabotaged my own success in many, many programs. But I thank God that I've been successful more times than I failed or have lessons thrown at me. I'm big when it comes to MTO goals. That simply means minimum target outrageous. My minimum, I just don't want to lose money. Target goal is 100% on my money. Remember, guys, this is not investing, this is trading. So you can actively, if I'm doing 7% a month, I'm going to double my money. Outrageous is 100% plus. This is a year. Okay. Now, what are my responsibility splits? I told you there's a lot in this little small business plan. Me as the CEO, that would be you as the CEO. I make all decisions. I do my tote testing. Tote is test, operate, test, exit. Funds allocation. Every month I will reallocate my funds. I will take funds and I will put it in a wallet, and I may or may not start over with the same amount each and every month until I double that. But again, that's my money management. What does my team do? They do my technical setup, VPS, which is virtual private server. They set up my copiers for me. I have them back test different systems for me, and also trade placement if I can't get to it. Now remember, no one has access to my account but me, but I can trade copy and turn on live trading anytime I want if I want someone to take over placing trades for me. My goal here, now this is where I think that most people go wrong. They never do a performa or a P&L when they start trading. So my goal is to turn $1,500 into a $100,000 income. So there's going to be a cost of doing business. So I want to put that there. I just want it out there. My trade capital is $1,500 monthly. Done for you expenses. In other words, I have help. I have a team. That's anywhere between $50 to $200 a month. That may be for my signals, my trade services, my trade copier, technology. So that can be anywhere between $600 to $2,400 a year. There you go. My estimated 5-year total for me to turn this into $100,000 according to my plans, anywhere between $3,000 to $12,000. Depending on how many systems I have running and how much effort that's going to require of my team. Now, this one is huge. Here in the United States, we have what we call self-directed IRAs. Whenever I have a $1,500 starting balance and I see my balance starting to grow, I have an issue again with discipline. I will want to take a certain portion of those profits and put it into something a bit more speculative. I now have this in an IRA because it restricts me from doing so, and it gives an opportunity. Now remember, this is what was told to me. Make sure that you check with your tax professional because I am not, but I'm actually growing it tax deferred. In other words, I'm not paying taxes. This is the plan, not paying taxes until there's distributions. And make sure that you double check that. But for me to have a custodian, that's like $300 a year. So over 5 years, that's around $1,500. Okay, so that's at the max. So basically, 5-year cost, monetary cost, would be anywhere between $4,500 to $13,000. So just subtract that from the $100,000, you're on top. Okay, last but not least, my strategies: align and hire a professional team for this project. I do my testing and I outsource. I don't just trade copy, I outsource because I've learned the system and I can hold people accountable to stay with the system and any money management that I decide to put in place. That's the difference between outsourcing, I did a video on this, and just simply blind trade copying. The power of the mastermind and the tribe. I have a mastermind group, and I advise anyone who's doing this to have that sort of support system. My plans, I have several broker accounts, some in the U.S., some offshore, depending on what type of system I'm trading. I always have 3 to 10 systems that have a high probability of, uh, of, of profiting me at least 7% a month. So if one stopped performing, just like any other team, I'll bench it and just pull one off the bench and put that one in. Or I will split and diversify into 3 different systems if I want to. So it all depends on what the market is telling me to do. And of course, I always reallocate my own profits. So that's it. It's really not brain surgery, but the system that we use for this one, guys, is the 4-hour charts because it's easy enough for anyone to learn the basics within an hour, and then you can have continuous learnings on how do I trade the higher time frame charts, what type of money management should I be utilizing, and what are high probability trade opportunities. But that's it in a nutshell. And in the next video, we'll talk about some of the trading rules for the for our very basic strategy.